Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome today. I'm glad to be here with Lee Tessier. Lee Tessier team of the Tessier Real Estate Group, who's an independent brokerage. We've been talking for a number of years and massively successful real estate group. Super excited to be here today with Lee to share about his process, what he looked at when he was looking at EXP. Their team, I'm going to ask you some questions if you don't mind,
Sure.
Lee. Just
You have
to
a long journey.
So today he's basically one of the biggest independent brokerages that have come over to EXP so far. There's a couple others, but at least definitely up there in the level of brokerage. So we're super excited to have him. Lee, for those of you who don't know you, tell us a little bit about your business, how many transactions your team did last year, and your production.
So we did 400. I always go by what we got paid on. So we did 467 sales because we do some new construction that I don't count when we don't get paid on them. So we did about 467 and another 40 some rental properties. And we did about 146 million in sales, 145,990. So just under that 146, but it was good. It was a great year. Volume was up, about 9 million over last year. So better than we were expecting. Of course, when March and April hit of this past year, we were like, holy crap. And then by June, we were like, holy crap, how busy it was. So it was nice to see, production levels go up and everybody have a great year. I mean, thankful that everybody's healthy and so forth. So.
Yeah, that's so true. COVID was definitely something we didn't anticipate. And if you all noticed, he's like a numbers guy. Like he knows his numbers. I don't really know anyone quite like Lee that knows the numbers to the T like he does. So he knows exactly where his team is. He vets things on a level like that. And I love the fact that you're kind of diversified in your market. You're a big real estate investor yourself, so you understand that market really well and what that needs to look like for an investor.
Yeah, if you want to get better at the real estate, if you want to get better at sales, buy some properties yourself. You'll be amazed what you do with your own money, and you'll be amazed how you look at numbers and you get really in tune of what's going on in the markets, especially with the areas you want to buy.
That's great advice. Also, how many agents are on your team? What does your team look like agent-wise and administratively?
So we have about 15 agents and 7 assistants again. So we had a virtual assistant for a little while. Now we're hiring another full-time office admin and for our 2 most productive agents. So, leveraging a team within a team. So building out our top listing agent did about 80 units last year, and our top buyer agent did about 40. So helping them with additional leverage for their own assistant that starts next month. So good things that we're looking forward to, even better 21. So
You've definitely set yourself up for that and your team up for that. As we've talked, you're a national coach. You've been coaching agents for a lot of years, and basically what you're talking about is leveraging agents on your team, leveraging your team, and helping your clients leverage their financial future. Share with us a little bit about your coaching and what you love about it and how you've been able to help agents.
Yeah, it's like, how do we get better? It's always somebody pushing us along and holding us accountable to things. So I've had a business coach since 2007. In 2015, I became a coach. So January 15, I started coaching other people. So, I did that for the last 6 years, and it's been good. I've seen, a couple of my clients I've become really good friends with at the same time, see their production go. I think of one of them, we went from 700,000 gross commission to 2.2 million.
Wow.
It's him, taking direction and just doing, taking it and run with it. The coaching takes out the learning curve for the most part. We can always get better. How do we get better? It's usually accountability and knowledge. So how do we push people through where we made mistakes before? It's like, all right, don't do that. I've done it before, and here's the reasons why it would cost you X amount of dollars, rather than prompting sales up and so forth. So just interesting. And in this business, you can do it so many different ways, and not a real right or wrong way. Biggest thing is staying profitable. I know there's a lot of large teams out there. The numbers look great, but then profitability. Do you have enough money to pay the bills, and is it worth your time? So I think, I always go back to Zig Ziglar saying, if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want. But again, helping enough others and starting when you lead with that, it's like everybody on my team, when we hire, is like, all right, don't have commission breath. If you lead with commission breath and they can tell you need to sell something, they're not buying anything because they can smell the commission breath. But if you go and do what's best for them, and then you earn a commission out of it, great. They're going to do, they're going to continue to send you referrals. They know that you're doing things because what's best for them, not what's best for you. And that's how I've run my business over the years, and it's continued to grow and snowball naturally. We're plugging in more marketing and stuff of that sort, seeing what's working, what's not. We spend a ton of money on marketing. We spend a lot of money on support, but I think it's always continuing to, how do we get better? I constantly on Audible and listen to books, reading books, going to conferences. Of course, this past year's been a little bit different, so it's more virtual conferences. So it's just, it's not like I don't always look at, all right, would I love to be number one always? No. Yeah, yes and no. No, because I don't want to. What's the expense of that? Is it family time? Is it stuff that I paid many dividends over the years as I was growing. Like I think back to 2013, I did 138 sales out of 289 we did as a team. I don't want to go back to 138 again, but I think of my agents like Reed from my team wants to get to 100. Well, if we leverage him enough and help him have a better life and quality of life and take some of the stuff that he doesn't need to do on his plate, take a lot of that off, then you can do 100 more functionally and live a great life. And that's the big thing is like we want the money. So it's, we're trading time for money. So right. Are we having a great life and doing the things that are we funding the life that we want?
I love that. I know that when we've talked over the past couple of years, you talk a lot about your family, and you always carve out that time for them. And Tracy has you both have become really good friends over that time. And that is really important. I think as business owners, we can get wrapped up in our business and the goal of being number one or being, hitting our own goals, whatever they may be. And I think that you've really led your business and you're teaching your agents to run their business in the way that you run yours to have better life, quality of life.
Right, and that's going to let us into EXP. So it's like after your 2 years of calls to me, and check in, like, I think of when I met your dad, 5 or 6 years, probably like 2014, somewhere in that range. Maybe he's going on 7.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you need to meet my daughter. She's Keller Williams agent too. We were both KW. So, I think of that. And I was like, all right, well, it was a great introduction at dinner where you're, totally different market. And look where you never know where things lead you.
Right.
Some of the conversations I've had with people over the years and then stuff circles back. But I think when you look at where we are now, I'm like, all right, well, it was worth the 2 years worth of calls for you because you kept telling me you need to look at it. I wish, looking back, I'm like, all right, especially where the stock's at, I'm like, all right, would have been nice to get in on those lower stock dollars, but I'm glad to see the stock doing really well too.
Yeah, it's funny. I love that you mentioned my dad because he really was instrumental in bringing us together. I remember my dad talked about Lee Tessier and how amazing he was and he is. And I just remember my dad, my dad really was like, it wasn't a suggestion that we talk. I remember my dad was like, you need to call Lee. And when you come to town, we're having dinner.
Right.
And we were both at KW at the time. And I remember at first dinner with you and Tracy, and just like it was me, you, and my dad and Bernie. We were just all at dinner talking, and nothing about really real estate. We just got to know each other, which was really cool. And then years and years later, he was right.
Yeah. So sorry for your loss. Since he passed right around New Year's and all those things, and I don't want to dwell on it, make you upset. But a great person. So thankful for him connecting us.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it was kind of ironic that right now is the timing that we really are working together alongside each other to build something great for other agents. So I feel fortunate, and you're just an extension to him to me. So when I see you, I just think of my dad. It makes me feel good. So it's nothing bad. It's all great.
I think of like listening. At the time when you first kept calling me, I just had my blinders on. Like, all right, I'm just open my own brokerage. I'm not going out. Like this is my focus. But as time went on, I'm like, I kept looking, and I'd see more and more friends switching over. I'm like, all right, I got to be missing something. I need to listen to Shelly's call. Listen to her a little bit more rather than listening to half of what she's saying. And then, the persistency of that, and then me saying, hey, I'm going to get my license in Florida. At least let me put my toe in the water and see what's going on.
Right.
And then that helped give me a little more exploration and poke as many holes in the boat as possible to see if I was missing something, because I didn't want to go from independent brokerage where here I'm going to be paying all these additional fees to EXP. I want to make sure versus it staying in house and being able to offset expenses, is it going to be worth it? But I think that from what I'm seeing, and I know I'm all in at this point. Somebody else had texted me and said, hey, you're in at this point. I'm like, full steam ahead, because I think that's going to be really good for my team for long-term wealth for them, because if they have the option to buy stock at a 10% discount, and it kind of forces them, they're not missing that 5% off the top. So I want every one of them to do that, because I'm like, you're not missing that money. It's like investing in 401k. Us as agents, as individual agents, we don't get it. I can do 401k for my staff, but I can't do that for my individual agents. So this is a way for them to invest that 5% in the stock at a 10% discount, which I think is huge, let alone the earning of stock. So if they bring additional agents in, and when they do transactions, when they've done their first and they've capped, you get additional stock. So I was like, all right, whether you want it or not, here you're getting it. You just need to stay there 3 years and it's yours. And depending on where the stock goes, suppose it does hit 200 or 300, you don't know where it's going to climb to.
Right.
But it's climbed a long way, and there's still a long way to go when you look back at like the Amazon and Google and stuff of that sort that are all tech related companies, which just is. I mean, it's a tech company that sells real estate. So
that's right.
Look how much it was affected in 2021, where we're using Zoom calls and we're using stuff like this more and more. So I think that technology's there. It was kind of funny yesterday because I needed to change something in accounting, and I was like, all right, who do I got to call? I was like, all right, let me just go into the world a second. Went in, hit the button. I had everything that I needed taken care of in less than 2 minutes at most, because I was like, all right, they told him what I needed. He's like, oh, I'm going to email you the form. It was a hello sign, went in, like a DocuSign, went in, changed the documents, sent it right back. I'm like, wow, that was super, super easy. So I think that, time, one commodity we never get more of. So how do you make the best use of it? So I think that there's a lot of good stuff in there.
I really enjoyed showing you and Lisa, your assistant, who's been with you for a long time, the world. I think she was blown away when she walked in there. We went from brokerage to do all these different technology to support, and it's really cool. And like you said, time leveraging, which is actually the hardest thing to manage, is time and have more of. We can't make any more of it. So I love that you're using it. And share with a little bit about, bringing a big brokerage over like yours with your agents, and the transition. What has that felt like for you? What surprised you about it?
I mean, I think the speed is much faster. So Rose, my office manager, has been with me 12 years. So she's had to help make the changes, and she's definitely a checklist person. So she's just going through and she's like, all right, done. So it's just, I think now it's just small stuff, getting vehicles that need to be rewrapped, or, signs are all taken care of, all the stuff, small stuff that you think of. But again, I think technology comes into play for all aspects of it. So the faster you can communicate and get things done, plus leverage, we're talking about leverage. So I think the more the right people you have, we've been in business as a team since late 2009. So you got 11 years of finding the right people for the team, which you're continuing to look for additionals, but it's just connecting the right people. And so far, knock on wood, everything's been nice and smooth. So it'll be learning a couple new platforms. I know there's going to be some kinks in it and some bumps on the road. And we had our team meeting this morning. I said, look, so far so good. I'm sure there's going to be some bumps on the road. There always is, no matter what we've done in the past and where we go forward. That's part of life. I mean, life throws enough curveballs at you. So just be ready for, hey, if there's something, let me know. Let's work through it.
Yeah.
And then, so I didn't talk about was like the concierge group, the team. God, I'm trying to think of the names out of Seattle that were helping, and then we had all the local ones, our local broker, the local assistant. So I think we had like 7 people on our call saying, hey, we're going to help. These are all the things that we'll do. We'll help support you guys. You let us know what we need, but here's kind of the things that you're going to need. And everybody's been super helpful with that. So support's huge.
Yeah, that's been awesome. So you're basically your team and everything, like you said, it's basically just a transition period. It happens really fast, and they have a great solid system for agents to help them make that move smoothly, which I've found to be great so far with an agent. I think we had another agent join last week that actually is with you, Greg Cullison, and you and I kept calling him and being like, hey, how's everything going?
Okay, right. I think of moves that we've had in the past. I remember when I left one, we had 66 pending deals, and I was like, oh my God, there's so much stuff that needs to be done. And then we always had 80 to 100 listings on the market. The good thing with listings, because they're selling right away, now is you're not having as many that are pending out there. I think we have 10 that are not under contract yet, so I need to get 10 versus 50 or 60 new agreements signed. Mm-hmm. So it's like the small stuff that you got to work through, which again, we've done it once before. So all right, now just it becomes a little more fluid. Plus, because the market's so hot, you're going to settle stuff under your old brokerage. And if you are making a move, not as big a deal. So.
Right, exactly. I mean, you just finish out the business you had at the other brokerage, and then you basically just start fresh with EXP, and they provide you the support you need. And Lee and myself and all of their whole organizational help you through it. So it's even beyond EXP corporate level. You know, we'll be helping agents come into the company and help them through that process and make it as smooth as possible too. We want everyone who joins Lee's group, Lee's organization, to have an amazing experience. Our name's on the line. So you and I both take that very seriously.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been on a ton of Zoom calls with people lately because that, some of it, since I joined technically in September in Florida, and didn't change this over right away. So I had a lot of people asking because the video went out that I had joined. So we had a lot of questions that were being answered, and I learned a lot through the process from that. But I think that, just looking at things, this is the time of the year where people make a lot of changes. So, as a single agent, when I seen, all right, you have $16,000 cap, and then you can get $16,000 back in stock. Right. Once you paid, $250 a transaction for 20 transactions. So it really cost you $5,000. It's like, wow, that's pretty good numbers. And all plus the $16,000 in stock. I mean, I think back to yours of what it was worth when you first started versus where it's at now, which are, 10 times the numbers on some of them. So we hope that their stocks still continue to do the same thing, or at least 3 or 4 time fold would be wonderful. And then let alone the stock that it's gifted to you, through bringing people in and doing transactions and just doing what we do anyway.
Right.
I think that there's so many pluses.
That's kind of how I looked at it. I was like, what do we have before this? We had our last transaction. I mean, as a realtor, every time we sell a home, we have to go find our next home to sell, which, when you build a business, that starts to happen more and more naturally because
right.
You've built a reputation, you've earned that trust in those clients. But then once we retire, then what? I mean, once Lee says, you know what, Tracy and I want to go to Naples, retire in however many years. That was one of the reasons you launched in Florida, was one day you'd like to be there, at least part-time. Mm-hmm. And one day when that happens, then what do we have for the next part of our life? So as realtors, we don't have the 401ks and everything. We have to plan. We have to be smart.
And then the whole thing is you have to leverage so much more. So like, you think about rental properties and stuff of that sort, it takes a while to get them. But then what I'm thinking is for my team, I can only put, like, all right, so they bring somebody in, I would compensate them roughly $3,000 a year, like $3,000 the first year for that person coming in. But you can't keep doing it long term. Right. Where this is like, I'm like, all right, well, if they bring somebody good in, it's going to continue to do this for them every year, as long as that agent's selling. And then who do they bring in? Then bring somebody in, then bring somebody in, then bring somebody in, and all of a sudden you're getting paid 7 levels. Can they easily earn $2,000 to $3,000 a month? Yeah, from looking at numbers, I can't see why they can't from talking to enough people. And if they can offset and earn an additional $2,000 or $3,000 a month that they're not having to go work for constantly, then they have a better quality of life. That's what really attracted me, where I couldn't do that in my own brokerage. I could only grow it to a point. I can't give them stock. I can't, I can pay a certain portion. Maybe, we could change things a little bit, but again, to stay profitable as a company in case you have COVID-19 that hits and all of a sudden you're like, March, April, are we going to sell any homes? What are we going to look like? We used to list in 15 houses a week and it goes to nothing. Now what? So I think longevity of things for the team, for each of my agents, for stock and revenue share is huge that I couldn't offer before as independent brokerage. Or if somebody wasn't a good fit or they didn't feel like they were a good fit for the team, I didn't have any other place to put them that would still be good for them and have the interaction with me. So I look at this and I was like reconnected with so many of my friends that are in different brokerages now. I'm like, wow, we can all connect and be under the same umbrella and help each other, have some of the masterminds we used to have, where we kind of faded away because we were in different companies.
Right.
I think that I'm looking forward to the camaraderie again, especially after this past year, since people were, more Zoom, more like just phone calls, but when are people going to get back together? So I think that's, something really to look forward to. And if we, you were talking about doing different training maybe once a month for our group and so forth, which would really help because it's always building each other up. So.
It is, and it's what I was going to say is it's like taking all this knowledge of all this top talent. Like Lee and I were great friends before, but now we're really like, you're still linked up to your group. Like your brand hasn't changed. That's still your group. I'm still with Paige Johnson. That's Craig and I's group, so, and that's our team. But now we're aligned. And now like, it's like you take great minds. Like you saw some of the things I was doing on my team. You're like, I want to do that. And I've seen things you're doing. And we're cross sharing now, because we're constantly in communication, because we're also looking for the opportunity for our team to grow them within EXP and their opportunity. And it's compounding. And you cannot stop when something is a compounding synergy. There's just nothing like it.
Right. I just remember when you first started calling, and I was like, all right, we just went independent, and now what's people are going to think I failed. Because I remember saying that to you, and I'm like, all right, that's ego. More or less like, all right, is that am I kidding myself? Is the cost what I'm telling myself, is that going to cost me a lot more than just doing it? So Tracy and I and Josh had lots of back and forth of, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And I'm like, all right, I see more positives outweighing the negatives. At this point, I'm like, all right, let's just do it. So here we are. We're making our change tomorrow. So
that's awesome. We're excited.
Yeah.
And bringing up your son, I mean, he's amazing. He's in your business, instrumental in your business. Share with us a little bit about what that looks like and what you see for his future. I mean, that was a big decision process, and this was what was going to be next for your son and, in his business and growth.
Right. Because my goal was 10 more years of working hard still.
Mm-hmm.
Then, all right, what does that life look like? But I would say, because of the kids and grandkids, I don't see myself moving to Florida within 10. So I said to him, like, all right, I need you to take different roles on, especially as I spend more time with EXP and talking to more agents, because it's already started that I spend a lot of my day talking to other agents, which is really good, because I think that we all learn from each other, first of all, and then the more we help each other, that's such a significant thing. So getting Josh into taking on some of my roles and responsibilities, and then as he sees more and goes to conferences with us and again, meets other people, because I look at, how much he's changed in the last 9 years, going on 10, May will be 10 years that he's been in the business. And like, all right, look at the last 10 years. So when we do business planning, strategic plans and stuff, we look at 5 years. So it's always that 5 to 10 years. Look what you just accomplished in the last 10. What's the next 10 going to look like for you and I and everybody on the team? What's their growth, and, just that mindset, thinking bigger. And as they keep thinking bigger, who else is coming into their life? So, because life isn't about just money. Money funds us to be able to do the things that we want to do, and it gives you more options. It amplifies who you are. If you're a great person, makes you an even better person. If you're a jackass, you become a bigger jackass. So I think that, so many times. So I've seen him get better. I've seen his confidence. I look at agents on my team, and when I read and I think of Tim, both of them were, hey, I want to get to, 30, 40 transactions. And, then it was, 50, now Tim did like 54 units and Reed did 80. Josh does about 60. So they're big numbers that they're doing, but they're also having a good quality of life, that they're not, they don't just come and park their butt in the office and they're here all day long, or they're not working, 24/7. They, not to say that they have a cushy life, but they didn't have to work as many hours as I did to get a similar net. Because, as team leaders, we take all the responsibility on and take, all these expenses that are going out to figure out, hey, let's test this, let's try this. But, and you talk to enough other people, that's what comes back to the people group of, hey, who's tried this before, who's done really well with it, and who hasn't. And then, sharing those ideas, and then how do you tweak things? Because it's taking those things and tweak them a little more, tweak them a little more, tweak them a little more. It's not usually a big drastic change. It's all the small tweaks that gets us the bigger. If you get 1% difference in conversion, amazing how much difference the outcome is. So I think that for the team, seeing our team members grow, I look back at Rose when she started with me 12 years ago to where she's at now, drastic difference. Same thing as like improving people's lives. We do a lot of, we do Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University as a team once to sometimes twice a year, because I don't want, I went through my harder times in 2010 and 11. Where I worked my ass off to be worth nothing, and now it's changed and snowballed over the years. But you spend all this time and you learn some significant lessons on the way. If you can have somebody take some of those lessons and make sure you don't go through them, that's significant to quality of life. So again, it comes back to the people. So I think there's a lot of the people that I've met through the group. Talking to Dave Kennard, I don't know how many times. I appreciate his time, and Brent. Jason, yourself, I think of how many conversations that we've had, because it's always a big move. Anytime you're changing brokerages, it's like, well, why is the pain has to be great enough for you to make a move.
Right. And you were happy. I mean, you make a very, very good living because you've created an incredible business, and you didn't have to make a move. I mean,
Right.
you guys are killing it in real estate. I mean, your name is so well respected, and you guys have done it the right way and built something that's really, really significant in your market. And Leah, you remind me of like a surgeon. Like when you think about things, you really do. You go in, you like study it, make sure you're doing it right, and you make one cut. There's no fail with you.
Right.
And it's just like a surgeon. I mean, you really remind me of that because of how you went through this process with us. You're very careful. You're making the right decision for your team, your family, yourself, and your son. I mean, that was a conversation that was really important because of, I was like, we want to build something that he can go into, that he can have a quality of life, that many agents don't have a quality of life. If they're successful, mostly something is sacrificing usually. And I'll never forget one time I was sitting with Glenn Sanford. He said, you either have money and no time, or no time and money. And this is an opportunity with this company where people can have both. So, and I've seen it over and over again in this company where these agents now have both, and they're more fulfilled because they're able to do more with their talent.
Well, they all think they'll look at the agent count. So I'm never a trailblazer to be the first one to usually do. I'm like, all right, let somebody else go test this out. All right, let's learn from their failures. And I was like, all right, is it worth going partially down that path and figure it out? So, now there's 42,000 agents. I wasn't in when it was 400. So
right.
I think of, different agents or different people I'll talk to. I'm like, all right, path looks pretty secure. Roads are pretty well paved. Systems are really there, because systems is such a big thing. The only way you can leverage more is have really good systems. So I think that if you're thinking through, what's 10 steps down the road look like before we get there, much better off. Because I'm always that big picture, long-term thinker, rather than what's today, tomorrow. I'm always like 5 years out, what does this look like? And I think that 5 and 10 year plan, because somebody said, all right, what about in 10 years that is bad? I'm like, all right, but what if I just lived the best 10 years of my life and it was freaking phenomenal? When I was talking to Meg, I'll never forget, she had said to me, she's like, what's the worst that can happen if you make the change? And that stuck with me. I was like, yeah, what's the worst that can happen? I'm like, all right, I can always go back independent. We were there before. It's not a big deal. Changing signs, changing paperwork, changing a couple, graphics and stuff. I'm like, all right, so that stuck with me. So thank you, Meg, if you're watching. I've seen
Thanks, Meg.
But that stuck for me from like September, maybe even August, somewhere in that range. And so many times we get hung up on small things. Hey, we'll have a friend there, or hey, but I think long term, you have to think of what's, so my family is my family that's blood, and my family that's my team. So what's going to be best for both of us long term, because I'm not affecting just one person. I'm affecting 25 or 30 with family and so forth that depend on me. So what can does this move us farther forward towards our goal or hinder us back? So it's always, but you need to write your goals down to make sure you're heading in, know what direction you're going in, or you're just going to an airport and saying, hey, I'll take a ticket anywhere. And you end up there 5 years later and you're like, what the hell just happened to me? Because we all run on the hamster wheel. And unless you slow down, think of all the really good books like Think and Grow Rich, As a Man Thinketh. So all these thinking books, so many of us get running that we don't spend enough time really thinking, what does that 5 years from now look like? What do I want it to look like? Not that it shows up and then you're like, I just got hit by a truck. What was that? It's like, this is not where I want to be. Because I lived, so many years of my life that I was just like, you run on the hamster wheel, and then you're like, it's not really why am I here? But, I was going through I put my big goals in my notes in my phone. And I was looking back and I said to my wife, I was like, here, this is what my goals were from 3 years ago. And she's like, wow, I was like, wow, we achieved all those goals. But, I always want to know what's her bucket list. So it's a matter of, what do we want in our life? Who do we want to do it with? And why do we want to do it? So it's thinking bigger and longer term rather than just today, tomorrow. And when you start thinking, you start planning much better. As you start making more money, you can live on less. So keep living on less. Don't go buy, because so many people are like, oh, I made a little bit more money, and they just go spending. I'm like, what do you have left? So if you keep saving and saving, but when you go through those harder times, you're not going back to who you used to be. Because I used to spend it like water before, and now I learned, all right, I need to save it. When I bought an investment property, I used to think, what's it worth today, tomorrow, the next day. Now I think of what's it worth 10 years from now or 20 years from now, when I tend to sell it, not today, tomorrow. You're looking at it for, making sure you're cash flowing, and those numbers are important, but not what's it worth.
Right. And it's definitely, those are great tidbits, about agents, and think about, that's definitely a coachable moment right there, Lee. I mean, you can definitely tell why you're so good at what you do, and you've helped so many great teams. This morning, it was funny, I got some IMs from some agents, and they were like, oh my gosh, Lee is the best coach. And I didn't even have a chance to tell you that yet, but it was pretty cool, just an upstanding person and always pouring into. And I can tell by your relationships with other agents how much, that you do good business, that people, when you're in across transactions, you guys are always working together for a win for the client. So it's really been cool to watch that. Tell us a little bit. So what happens with your branding? Like, what does that look like now that you're with EXP? What is, does that change?
Yeah, well, it's funny because we were in our team meeting this morning, and one of my agents said, so basically nothing really changes. I'm like, no, what, like nothing that you're seeing that's making things like, it's not that significant. Like on our paperwork, it's Lee Tessier team of Tessier Real Estate. Now it's going to be Lee Tessier team of EXP. Not a big deal. We have new forms that we'll do, some of that, branding, again, not that big a deal. But it's pretty easy stuff. We were able to, thankfully, the way we designed our signs last time, it wasn't purposeful, but it was pretty easy just to get the EXP, like have reflective stickers made in there that look good, has broker number on and stuff of that sort, but not that big a deal. One of the other things I was going back to is the stock, because it's like the stock long term, like as I went through and I was probing holes at this, somebody had said to me, they're like, he did a lot of analysis for stocks and how they get there and so forth, and he was saying, from this going from a pink sheet to NASDAQ, he's like, you don't know how hard that is. It's like significant. I was like, wow. So as I was listening to different interviews, I was going back and I remember, Glenn, I was hearing some of his stories. So I was like, that's pretty significant. That doesn't get talked about a lot, of going from a pink sheet company to NASDAQ. Not that I heard anyway, a lot of the stuff that I was hearing, but I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing to get there. And, I was trading the stock earlier on this, end of last year, and went into Under Armour. Of course, I bought Under Armour as a tanks, and then I got it out of EXP, and it's like, that's what happens when I buy stock. So, so in a way, I kind of like, all right, let me buy some more stock. Maybe it will drive it down. So when I get some stock, it'll, significantly push up again.
You're funny. But yeah, it's good.
I think of that, and I think of several people that are in my radio and TV group that I was watching them switch over, and seeing and hearing what some of their monthly checks are. Like, how, like, duh, wake up. There's all this has happened around you. Shelly's been calling you for 2 years. Make a decision, just get off the pot and do it. So I think that a lot of us get into paralysis analysis, analysis paralysis, whatever way you want to say it. But you get in there and you start overthinking things, and what's everybody going to think, and what are they like? Ultimately, what's best for your family and your team?
Right.
If it makes sense, great. So I'm happy to always answer any questions, and it's so helpful for the leverage from you. I think of Cliff that's helped out so many times, Dave, Kennord, and so forth. So just it's always nice to have other people to help support, and I think it's for a good decision. It's I'm not a big upsell person, or like, hey, you need to buy this. I'm not a hard sale ever. I mean, that's one of the things that's really helped me through real estate is we're not having to sell it. We're helping them through the process, and we have to help them. We have to be the counselor and all the other stuff and get them through the process, but they're going to know whether they want to buy the house or not. And on the listing side, it's always just getting them to price the house where it should be so it will sell. So it's just the same thing when you're coming into this and you're talking to agents. Make the best decision that's for you, not for anybody else, but be open to listen to it. Or everybody, so that's saying the teacher will show up when the student's ready. And that is so true. Like, I think back to 2015 when I was looking for a trainer. I started working out with Kadri Ismail. He was referred to me about selling his house. We got to talk, and I was like, all right, do you train fat people? Because I need to get myself back in shape. And, I was like all ears. I needed to get myself in shape. So again, the student or the teacher shows up when the student's ready. The same thing with you. You were talking to me and I was just like, didn't want to hear a thing. I was like, okay, I hear you. And I, had my hands over my ears. But as I was more open to it and figured out, I was like, all right, this could be really good for my team and for myself. Let's listen a little bit more. Let's talk to some more people. Let's see what's there. Let's uncover, like, anything. You can hear bad. There's never, like, I even called some of the people that were EXP and left. I was like, tell me more about this. Why? But their reasons were totally different than what I didn't relate to me. So I was like, all right, I can't see a lot of value in that, or there's more to it. So always two sides of every story. So I think that it's always helpful to open your eyes, look, listen, see if it's a fit. If it is, great, because this is the time of the year where a lot of people are thinking like, all right, it's a new year. What am I going to do different this year than last year? I'm making about the same money, or I'm making less, or I'm making more, but how do I make significantly more long term? So it's not just today, tomorrow. Again, it's 1 year, 5 year. What stock look like? What because think of any other company. I don't know any that's going to give you any stock.
Right.
I mean, there's none right as of today. I think Compass is one that you can earn at some point, but it's not out there yet. But again, who's going to give you stock in a company, and who's going to help you grow? And I think we talk about the people in your line, the people are going to help you up. So who's going to help build your business with you? Who's going to talk to you, and who's going to have really not what's in it for them, but what's in it for you? Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the things that's always come to me is like, all right, if you have a couple of people that are helping because they want to, not because they're looking for something. Mm-hmm. I think every time that you get, like, you give to give, but when you're giving, you end up getting because you're giving for the right reasons.
That's good stuff. It's funny, like the open-mindedness, and when you talk to, when you're talking to an individual agent, you're a massive brokerage. When you're talking to an individual agent, I mean, this applies to them too. This company is for everybody. And think about being able to align yourself with Tessier, who's a national coach, understands investments, understands how to grow a team if that's a desire, understands this industry probably better than most of us, and be able to align yourself with someone like that with the company and be able to grow and receive stock and build your real estate business while you're acquiring stock and opportunity for revenue share, for passive income. And one thing is really interesting is if someone's making $3,000 a month in revenue share without a lot of effort, that's really another income earner in their household. There's agents making far more than that. There's agents making everywhere in between, some really massive numbers. And
digit incomes that I'm seeing on a monthly basis. Like, all right, you need to look at this.
Yeah. It's significant, and we're not going into like all the rev share numbers and what that really means financially. But if you want to have a one-on-one conversation with Leah and myself, we would be happy to do a Zoom with you confidentially, talk to you about the company, so you can see what it looks like for you. Because my one question for most people who haven't looked at this company is, have you really looked at the numbers and what they look like for you and your business? And if anyone understands the numbers, it's Lee. He understands how this can impact an agent's life.
Yeah, and if you look at what you need to invest in today's market, even at a 5% interest rate, that's the whole thing that stood out to me. Like, you need $900,000 invested at a 5% interest rate to get about $3,500 a month. Actually, it's $3,000 a month.
Right.
I mean, that's significant.
It's a long time to get that 900,000. I mean, how many years of work would it take the average person to get to a $900,000 investment to get that 5% return? Mm-hmm. It would take a lifetime for many people to get that. So to be able to do that in a company in very short order, I mean, that's a huge valid point of what is so powerful about this company.
The ability to earn 20, 30, 50, 60 plus 100,000 plus a month income revenue share. That's the thing that intrigued me. Like, all right, well, if you're seeing these other people, achieve it, it's definitely achievable. So it's not that they started, 10 years ago or 20 years ago, which I heard different companies. It was like, all right, that person was there 20 years and they earned $1 million. I'm hearing numbers that are close to that on a monthly. I'm like, okay, you need to look at this a little farther.
I think I remember you were skeptical because when you were at a previous company where they did like a profit sharing type platform, yours and mine both, neither one of our profit share per year was significant. Yet we were mega producers in our market. And I remember you saying, well, I'm not a recruiter. And I'm like, well, we're not recruiting, we're attracting agents because we do good business and because the revenue share opportunity is so huge. It's not the same. Yeah, it's awesome.
And I think that, when you kept saying that, and that was my big thing, I was like, I'm not a recruiter. I'm not, I barely recruit for my team. I talk to the agents that are usually referred to me or somebody that I've had conversation with. But as I talk to more people, and I'm like, all right, since some of the videos that came out that we were changing, amazing how many conversations, because there is a big interest for the company, and they're seeing, all right, they're at 42,000, they were at 20,000 last year, or 25,000. They're on upswing. The expectation is to get to 100,000 this year. Who's going to be on the boat and who's not, and then who's going to be 5 years from now going, I wish I had some stock, versus somebody that's sitting on, I think of Brent's team where they've been on 4 years, and his agents, a couple of them had $300,000-$400,000 in stock.
Right.
That's significantly life changing for majority of people today. I mean, if you had an extra $300,000 in stock, I'd be pretty damn happy. So.
Yeah, that was a really cool call, because he literally brought in a couple of his agents who were on his team that were kind of like, one agent was like, I'm excited about this, but he made his sort of transition over, and those agents have $300,000 and $400,000 in stock, and they're living their dream, their freedom of one of them wanted to buy a ranch, and she's doing that right now. So it's super exciting to watch our team members be able to win in this company and see all of that. Are there any last comments or thoughts or anything else you'd love to share with us, or anyone to know about the company that surprised you, or your team members have brought up to you, or you've just heard or thought about?
I think for me, it's just being to the point that you're going to be open and listen, because I think that so many times people are, well, that's just a shiny object, or, well, I'm not ready. I mean, some people aren't ready. Some people love where they're at. If they love where they're at and they are happy with and content everything in the world, so be it. But most people want a little bit more. So even if you said, hey, I'm gonna come on and at least get some stock, that's significant. If you lower your cap, again, significant. And then revenue share. So that's your three things. I mean, that's what. And then the like-minded, the similar mindedness. So everybody has bigger people, mid-size, and small people that the way they think. So there's always a group for you. I think the bigger minded people are the people that want a lot more. That's like, I'm one that's always going. I drive some people nuts, because I'm not one to sit down and just sit back and not do anything. I probably drive my wife nuts with that a lot, but I'm always going, because I enjoy, it's the journey there. It's never the destination. And I think so many people, like, you're rushing to this destination, and what does that look like when you actually get there? And you're like, it's not as good as I thought it was. But I think always the journey, and my journey changes because I keep upping goals, or more, like, not because I'm greedy. I'm not trying to be greedy, but I'm trying to, it's really nice to have options and be able to help people. We always do a lot of different donations through the year, especially Christmas time. That was just here. So to do something for shelters and giving back to kids that always need a helping hand. So we started a foundation 6 years ago, raising money for kids 6th through 12th grade, and you're seeing how you're impacting these kids. That's rewarding when you're able to, but you need money to be able to do that. So I think that the more that you give away and give to people and help, the more rewarding it is to you, and usually you end up with more that you can give. So I think that just again, money's just an amplifier of who we are, and it gives you options. So you want more or less of it, and not to say one's right or the other, because going to live on the beach and just stay on the beach all day, great. It's just a matter of, it depends on how much you can slow your mind down. I'm not one that can slow down enough yet. So I probably got a good 10 years, maybe longer. My dad was 84 when he passed, still working some then. He tried retiring in between and just drove himself nuts. So I'll probably be right in that boat. So
you'll be 100 still working, and we'll be coming up with some other kind of real estate opportunity, this life goes on.
You think about Warren Buffett. What's Warren Buffett, 90?
Yeah.
90 or 90, 91 now? So same type thing.
It's fun. I mean, when you're able to build an opportunity together with a bunch of people, and the agility of the company is so cool too, because we're able, like you said, so leveraging in so many different capacities. And it's just fun to work together. Like whenever you can get around someone else who has a passion for the same industry you do, and you're in different markets and you're collaborating and sharing and growing together. And I mean, Lee knows I have to like contain myself because I like text him at crazy hours. I'm like, Tracy, I'm so sorry. I think
it's always the people though. I think that's the biggest. I think that's what made me the most excited is all the people that I've spoken to, friends that I haven't talked to in a while in the business are like, tell me more about this. Because it's like, all right, great. Now we have something great to talk about that's interesting for both of us. And we haven't seen each other in a little while. So I've had really good conversations lately, and I'm thankful for that. And maybe I'll, if I didn't make the change, I may not have had that, because you usually need something to stoke the fire. Like, hey, somebody's got to pick up the phone for something. There's got to be a reason besides, just a transaction. So I've been thankful for just the people more than anything else. I love people. I'm usually the quiet one in the room. That's just my natural personality. I'm one that'll build a really deep relationship with one or two rather than with 100 there. So I'm thankful that it's been a lot of one-on-one time on Zoom calls and just conversations I haven't had in a while. So it's really rewarding for me. And again, expectations of what I'm going to see from my team. So I'm so thankful to see, all right, let's look 2 years from now, let's look 5 years from now and see what that looks like for them. Did their life improve?
Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, that was really the catalyst when Craig and I looked at EXP2. It was all about the team. If the team wasn't going to win, then it wasn't for us. And I'm so grateful that the team was going to win, because that meant it was great for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something you and I have talked about a lot, is just how much we care about our team. So really, really appreciate it. I love that we get to align and work together and build this company together and help so many agents. And I guess we're hitting up on over 45 minutes. So I think we probably should. We're actually on Thursday we have a call with Cliff Freeman. It's going to be live on social media as well, and it's going to be great because Cliff comes from the coaching world, and him and Lee have a lot in common. So I think that's going to be a really interesting, a huge gift for agents to be able to learn more about how to better their business. And I just appreciate the time today with Lee and being able to share this exciting news. It's been a long time coming, and I'm so happy you're all here, your team, and we get to work together. So anyways, I just wanted to thank him for that and thank everybody for joining us. I know a lot of people were texting me like, I'm going to be on that. I'm going to be watching you guys. And if you all don't know, I'm from Maryland too. So that's how Lee knew my dad. So it's pretty cool. You guys have an awesome day. If anybody needs Lee, how's the best way to reach you, Lee, to get more information or to connect if they want to do a Zoom call or to just confidentially meet with you?
Yeah, my cell's 410-365-2210, or email lee@leetessier.com, or you can private message me here. So either one.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Hey, Cliff Freeman, third. So Cliff Freeman has a son. He's young and completely just a baller. He's a great guy. So you'll be on there too as well. So I definitely want to give a shout to Cliff, the other Cliff, Cliff's son. All right, you guys. Have an awesome day. Thanks, Craig and Kelly and Amy, our team, for setting up the StreamYard and our entire team. And thanks to Lee's team for being there and being such a great group to work with. We're excited. So you'll be hearing more from all of us. See you later.
All right, see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.